Hey everyone, I'm DT10, and in this video I'll be reviewing and showcasing Dalek Mod Update 66, aka the Delivery Steel update. This update adds tons of new features to the new 1.16.5 version of the mod, including mobs like Kablam Men, which you probably saw in the thumbnail, as well as new types of Cybermen, which can be found in tombs. There's also new TARDIS features and skins, and so much more. If you enjoy this video, then please remember to subscribe, as not many of you are, and it would really help me out. I'm also technically on a break from YouTube at the moment, but I couldn't miss an opportunity to gain another 15,000 views. I mean, take a look at this incredible update. But both of these are true. Anyway, let's get on with the video. I'd also just like to apologise for a mistake I made in the intro. I said update 66 purely because that's kind of what I'm used to, but Squid Team is slowly starting to phase that numbering out and introduce new numbering, so this update is actually version 65.1.0. That's my mistake, but I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. Anyway, let's get started. So we'll start with all of the new blocks, and there are loads and loads of different types of rotors. So these are the different types of steel rotors. You've got the normal steel one, and then the rusted steel rotor and the stainless steel rotor. These are how these ones look. And then you've also got a different type of rotor for every single color in the game. And what I love about this is they're all super unique. So for example, this brown one right here is a sapling. This grey one right here is a bit like a Cyberman kind of thing. So I really like these designs. It's very different to the way I expected Squid Team to go with these. I assumed we'd just get coloured variations of the existing glass rotor we have right here. Maybe make it so the outline is a different colour, the black base is a different colour or something. But no, this is very, very unique. And I really like what they've done with it. And then similarly behind here, we've also got loads of new wall variants for all of the different types of steel. So we've obviously got the normal steel, the rusted steel, and then the stainless steel, and then one for every single type of colour in the game. Now you'll notice there's a couple missing, and that is purely because the grey, the brown, and the light grey are obviously classed as these variants, which makes sense because, well, there's basically no difference. And next up, we'll move on to some new steel roundels that we've got. So these are the reinforced steel walling, which I think look really, really nice. I love the red and black. And similarly, you've got the reinforced steel walling roundel, which is just a roundel variant of this, as you can see there. We've got the rusted reinforced steel walling roundel. These names are getting very long indeed. And then you've also got potentially my favorite. I can see myself using this in a build a lot. The stainless reinforced steel walling roundel. And this one has some very unique color choices, like the blue and the gold contrast really nicely, and it's very similar to a certain Capaldi roundel. However, I'm pretty sure that's deliberate, and we will get to that a little bit later in the video. Moving on, we've now got a load of new types of blocks, which are called Colortite, and all of its variants. And there's a lot of variants. So these blocks are all different types of Scaro blocks, and Scaro, I believe, is coming in an update or two. It's not quite done yet. If you've seen one of T-Bo2's videos, you can actually access it in the game, because it already exists in the game's code, but it's definitely not finalized, and I think we're seeing that here with the introduction of these new blocks. So first of all, something really, really cool is that these actually give you Stone Age. Yeah, the Cobalt Colortite gives you the Stone Age advancement, which is really, really nice, and these also have some very unique sounding sounds. I'm trying to put my finger on what sound they're using for this, because I know it's an existing sound. I feel like it might be basalt. Yes, I'm good. And then you've also got Calotite bricks, cracked Calotite bricks, ashy Calotite bricks, which are a new one, and I think they look really, really cool. I can see myself using these in a build as well. Chiseled Calotite bricks, which have a little bit of a Dalek design on, Calotite pillar, and Calotite tiles, which look very, very similar to polished andesite, so I feel like you could definitely use these in a build together. Sorry, it's a lot about building. I'm a builder, okay? And then you've also got all these stairs and slab variants. Anyway, next up, we've got some changes to existing items. So first of all, the 3D glasses now give you a really, really cool, very different looking effect. So the effect doesn't work if you're in third person, which obviously makes sense because you're not actually looking through the goggles, and you get this really weird sort of, it looks like your eyes are going fuzzy. You get this sort of blue and red overlay, which is a lot more realistic to what you actually see if you put on 3D glasses in real life. And then you've got the Fez. Now this is no different. However, if we go into the inventory, as you can see, there is now a color variant of every single fez, and it looks really, really good. I think my favorite probably has to be the green one. I really like how this one looks. It just looks very, very cool. And then they've also retextured a lot of the existing food items in the game. So if we go to our foodstuffs menu, you can see all of these are now Dalek donuts, raw Dalek waffles, and toasted Dalek waffles. You've then also got retextured Dalek bread, I believe, and a few others, as you can see right here. And we also have a brand new food type, and that is celery. So this is also a crop, which is why I've got the bone meal and the farmland right here. You can plant this, you can bone meal it to grow it, and then if you're in survival mode, you can obviously harvest it to get yourself some more celery. So next up, you've got some changes to the teleport pad. So this is all to do with the sound that they make. They now have a brand new sound. And you can hear that right there, and I think it really suits this item a lot better than the other one, and I believe the other one was actually a mistake. It wasn't supposed to be the laser sound, but yeah, this one is a vast improvement, and I really, really like it. And also, there's some changes to the item sprites on the baseball bat and on the wooden cane, so instead of them being enchanted with knockback, you can see that it's actually just included in their item tags, so they don't get that sort of enchanting glow, and I think that's definitely a positive change. It did look a little bit weird getting crafting them, and then it's already got this existing item glow. So it's called the delivery steel update for a reason, and we'll focus on the delivery bit first. And as you might have seen from the thumbnail, and as I'm sure you're all expecting, if you saw the Swid Team video that is, we have now got Kablam men in the mod. However, they work very differently to how I was expecting them to, and they are absolutely incredible. So first of all, you obviously got the Kablam box, and you get a nice little achievement for having it, and you can place it down, and it works very much like a shulker box in the sense that anything you put in it, oh, that's not quite how it works. As I was saying, anything you put in it, you can put in, and then if you break it, you can move it and it will retain the item, just like a shulker box, except with a lot less storage. And in this box right here, I've got two new items, bubble wrap and explosive bubble wrap. So we'll get onto how you can get your hands on these in just a second. The bubble wrap itself is naturally generated, however, you can craft the explosive bubble wrap by combining it with a piece of TNT like that. So the bubble wrap, when placed on the ground, it can just be pops, and it's really satisfying. And yeah, you can just have a really good time stepping on this stuff, and it's just really, really fun. And then if you grab yourself some explosive bubble wrap, we'll go into a bit more space right here. You can see if we place this down, you can see it's ever so slightly different to the normal bubble wrap. This one's a bit more blue, this one's a bit more green. And if we stand on this one, well, yeah, it's explosive. I suppose the clue's in the name, really. But now, this is the best bit of this Kablam Men feature. In my opinion, the best bit of this entire update, and it is called the Kablam Computer. And the moment you open this up, yeah, they have effectively added Amazon into Minecraft. And this was not what I was expecting at all, but it's absolutely incredible. So you can literally use the Kablam Men how they're intended to be. I thought, you know, you just get a spawn egg and they'd spawn stuff. They wouldn't have that much survival integration. But no, if you craft yourself one of these, and they are craftable, I did check. Yeah, look, they've got quite a complicated crafting recipe, but once you craft yourself one of these, it'll be very, very valuable. So you use XP as your currency, effectively, and you can buy any one of these blocks, and you can buy, for example, let me buy a teacup. I'll add it to my basket, and I've got a teacup. And then I can order a brass ingot if I want that. I could order a red fez, and I feel like I'll have a couple of red fezzes actually, and some 3D glasses. And then if you go to your basket right here, you can see that we've got all of these, including quantities and everything. And you can also increase or decrease the quantity from this menu right here. And then you press buy, and it says, thank you for your purchase. Your order is being delivered at 210564 2165, which is exactly 2 blocks behind me. And sure enough, if you can get out of the way, there's a Kablam Man standing right here, and he's carrying my parcel. And all you have to do is right-click him. If it says delivery fulfilled, remember, if you want it, Kablam it, and he's gone. And inside my Kablam box is all of the items that I ordered, as well as some bubble wrap. So that's how you get your hands on this bubble wrap in order to craft the explosive stuff. And yeah, I absolutely love this feature. This is absolutely incredible. This is the best possible way they could have integrated the Kablam Men into Minecraft. I think it's just really, really cool. Now, I did do a bit of testing. You can actually summon these Kablam Men. However, it's a little bit glitchy. So, first of all, they don't have a proper thing. You can just see it's Entity Dalek Mod type Kablam Man. They don't carry a parcel, obviously, and then after a while, they sort of just disappear. So yeah, there's actually nothing nothing evil about these Kablam men. I was sort of expecting them to sort of chase you around a bit, but they actually don't have any AI. As you can see, you just summon them, and then they stand there for a while. You can sort of push them back a little bit, and you can actually damage them, but eventually they just disappear like that. So yeah, I doubt this visual issue will be fixed anytime soon, because obviously the whole point is that you use this system to get them. You don't summon them that way or anything. Anyway, next up we're moving on to the steel part of the Delivery Steel update, and that is of course the Cybermen. So first of all, there are 3 new variants, making a total of 4. So this is the variant we had originally, which has also undergone some texture changes. Now you've got a Cyber Leader, I want to say 70s Cyberman. Honestly, I'm terrible with Classic Who, so please, if I've got that wrong, please correct me in the comments. And then you've also got a Cyber Leader variant of that one as well. And they also make some noises, so if I turn up my hostile creatures noises, which I had low because they're very, very annoying, you can hear the noises, so you can punch them, and yeah. You can see the noises are very, very cool, but a little bit annoying, which is why I had them turned down. However, there's another feature with these guys, and that is this, the integration with gold. So any gold item will effectively damage them a lot more, just like it does in the show. So even something like a Totem of Undying, which isn't technically gold, but has like a gold texture, will work. So I can punch them with a gold ingot, and you can see it gets, I don't know if you caught it, yeah, it gets a little bit of a different type of particle right there, and that's showing you that it's doing extra damage, a little bit like a critical hit. Similarly, if I use a gold sword, you can just see the particle disappear there, and the same if I use a Totem of Undying, you can see the particle there. And the point being, it will damage them, yeah, a lot quicker. That really didn't take long. And you also get some advancements, one for just defeating one, and then one for killing it with gold. Now, the final thing before we move on to the new structure, which has been added in the mod, is this. A brand new music disc by May, aka Rana Fangirl, and that is Cyberwave. And it's really, really cool. So, I'm just going to play it.
Hours later.
But it's an absolutely incredible music disc, and I highly recommend you listen to the full version when you download the mod yourself. Once again, there is also a link in the description. Anyway, now it's time to move on to the brand new structure, and that is the Cybermen tombs. So if we head underground, I'm actually extremely close to one. It's just over here. So first of all, you get an advancement for going into it, an Icy Expedition, and it generates naturally with these Cybermen spawners. So you can see that Cybermen will spawn, and obviously if you have to, in survival, dig into it yourself, there's a lot of time where you're in the vicinity, so a lot of Cybermen will be spawning in this thing. So as far as I'm aware, you don't get any loot chests generating these structures. However, if I was a survival player myself, the main benefit would obviously be the spawners. I mean, imagine what an incredible XP farm you could make with this. So there's one spawner there, I can see another one there, and I'm pretty sure I saw one down here as well somewhere. Maybe? Oh, it was the other side. Yeah, there it is down there. So there's 3 in this structure. And I'm fairly certain they're randomly placed, so it might be possible to get even more. And yeah, look, I've only been here for a few minutes, and already the Cybermen are piling up. So you can make a pretty incredible farm out of this. And then there's obviously all of the different blocks that you can get from it as well. But yeah, overall, very, very cool little structure. Anyway, unfortunately, we are almost done with this update review. However, we're not quite. It is packed full of features, and there's a few more that we need to go inside the TARDIS for. So first of all, I don't know if you heard it going in, but there is a new sound for when you open and close the doors. So you can hear it right here. And yeah, that's pretty cool. But now we're going to cover a few other features. So first of all, there's been some changes to the roundel door. All of these different blocks can now be used to create roundel doors. So, I mean, I can grab a few at random. We'll grab that, for example. And as you can see, you just need to combine them like that. And you can make a classic glass one of these, a spruce trapdoor one, a lodestone one. And then here's the other 2 that I decided to create. And obviously, this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure you could explore this for yourself once you get your hands on the mod. And then we've also got some very, very cool additions to the TARDIS system right here. So first of all, you've got this, a lodestone amplifier. And we're going to need a compass for this. So this feature is really, really cool, and it effectively means you can constantly be able to track your TARDIS and know where it is. So if you grab yourself a compass, place down a lodestone amplifier in your TARDIS and then right click, you get an advancement saying spatial load, fly us home, and you've now got yourself a TARDIS compass which is automatically bound to the TARDIS. Now you notice that all the while I'm in the TARDIS dimension it goes a bit wacky, but the moment I step outside of the TARDIS you can see that it is locked on to this TARDIS. If I fly around a bit, if I move away from it, it'll always point towards it. And it's the same if I dematerialize. And just before we finish, there's a couple more things I'd like to go over. First of all, I believe the flight lever has a new texture. As you can see, when you dematerialize, you get this really cool red effect, almost as if it's being affected by redstone. And then when you rematerialize, it obviously goes away. And then we've also got some very, very cool new TARDIS exterior textures. So this is just one example, but if we head on inside, I've got a couple more laid out. So these are all of the phone box variants. You've got the classic red phone box, a pink version of the phone box, a more modernized version of the phone box, and then a Bill and Ted version of the phone box. And then you've also got loads of different pagoda variants. So if we head inside here, as you can see, if we go to pagoda, there are now 15 individual pagoda skins, and some of them are really, really cool. And then similarly, if we head inside this TARDIS right here, there are loads more skins for the TARDIS capsule. So that was just one example, but yeah, there's absolutely tons and lots of different colors, and they look really, really cool. And it's not just TARDIS exteriors that are new. No, there's actually a new TARDIS interior, and it's called the Booth Default. And I definitely think you'll recognize it because it's the Capaldi interior. And I have to say, they've done quite a good job of it. I do quite like the design. There's a couple of things that are obviously quite inaccurate, but again, this isn't actually a direct copy of the Capaldi interior. It's called the Booth interior. And it's clever because it means they can be a bit more creative and a bit more free in terms of the design. But yeah, it's got some very cool features, and it's also got some of these, the reinforced stainless steel walling. I actually forgot to cover these blocks, I've realized. So you've also got that, and then you've got the rusted variant as well. My bad, I forgot to cover them earlier. But yeah, you've got these integrated. I did mention about the TARDIS. Yeah, well, they work. But the main thing about this TARDIS is the lighting. So you may not notice anything different, but this by default is actually on lighting 90%, which is crucial because there's actually a new TARDIS panel, and it's called the light alternator. What you can do is change the lighting inside the TARDIS. Now, something to bear in mind, which I just found out the hard way, it does not work if your brightness is on bright. That is just something to bear in mind. But yeah, by default, this TARDIS's lighting is at 90%. Now, I've been fiddling about with this, so it's currently at 100. But what you can do is basically subtract levels of brightness, and it's really, really cool. So you can then swap and you can go to 100%, so you can really quickly change the lighting in the TARDIS. So we can put this one all the way down to 0, and you literally just have light emitted from these light blocks, and it looks really eerie. It looks very, very, very ominous, especially with sort of these doors just there. They look a little bit like eyes. Very, very scary. But then I can just press swap, and we get instant 100% lighting. Obviously, you can do this with any interior to create a bit of ambient lighting. So, for example, 70% I think looks really, really nice, compared to just 100% can be very, very in your face. And the ability to just quickly swap this so easily is absolutely amazing, and a really, really nice feature. And with that, I've pretty much covered everything that this update has to offer. So there are actually a few things I'm choosing not to cover, but that I am aware of. This includes a million bug fixes, and also some very, very cool new TARDIS commands. However, I'm not really much of a command person myself. I don't really understand them, and I don't really want to go over a feature without knowing a lot about it. And I haven't had the full time to research and ask around and everything to see what these commands actually do. So instead, I thought I'd just not cover them. But if you'd like to learn more about this feature, then please head over to Swid Team's video. The link is in the description. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like or comment, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then please subscribe. But I've been DT10, and I will see you in the next video.